Levels. All right, I think that's good.
The levels.
Check
them.
We're back.
We are back.
Somehow. Episode 5.
Episode 5 of 5.
Yep, possibly.
I think.
Maybe.
Who knows? Right. Welcome back to Making Tone Metal, episode 5 of The Steel.
Put up your feet up on the kettle. Make it sing metal. Fuck the Grand Prix, who's the best in metal? Make it sing metal. On metal. Make it sing metal. On the podcast suck, so you have to settle for. Make it sing metal.
What have we got coming up? Well, I will answer my own question with a running order. We've got news this week.
Oh, that is news in itself.
That's
a news. That's a brand
this
new
is
segment.
A mini news section. The news section is we've got news coming up.
Yep.
New releases. We're going to be talking about new releases from Napalm Death, Omega Tribe, Horsewhip, Exist, Anal Nathrak, Arch Echo, Pliny, and
some songs.
AC/DC.
Yep, AC/DC have got a song.
They've got a song.
We're going to do albums I should listen to.
Oh, it's a classic. And
you've probably been listening along as well.
Oh, I hope so.
A week.
That's from Gaza and
Rotting
Out. And then we've got messages.
Yep. Or do we?
Well, can we top one message from last week? Let's find out. And lastly, the world famous...
And leastly.
Everyone's talking about it. Even your grandma's probably mentioned it to you. The Making Tone Metal band name generator. So, without further ado, should we head straight into news?
Yeah, we need to make a new jingle for that as well. So
we can do that.
Yeah, good. Right, let's go to the news.
News. Okay, so first up in the news, sad news.
Probably not the best jingle we've done. Sad news indeed.
Sad news this week. So legendary hair metal, what do you call it? Guitarist? Rock? Hard rock?
You can call it a lot of things.
Eddie Van Halen passed away.
Yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. A fantastic guitarist, famed for playing the guitar.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, a lot of people know him for that. He's a lot of people would cite him as a big influence.
He's a legend, absolute legend. He was did a lot of two-hand tapping. He was one of the people who sort of pioneered the two-hand tapping technique.
A lot of people like his amplifier he made.
Yeah,
the EVH equipment.
And his fancy paint on his guitar.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
We have, in honour of Mr. Van Halen, we have 666. We've got 666 Van Halen facts. Matt, do you want to start off with our first Van Halen fact?
Yeah, I'll start off. Another dead great guitarist.
Oh, great.
Dimebag Darrell from Pantera and Damage Plan. He was actually buried with one of Van Halen's guitars, the black and yellow stripy one. I think it was on the back of Van Halen 2. Van Halen gave it to him, dead. gave
it to him after he died.
Gave it to his to be buried corpse, and it's buried with him.
Oh, he did it as part. Yeah. So after he died, he was like, "I want him to be buried with this guitar."
Well, he loved the guitar and always wanted it, and he was buried with the guitar, which is pretty cool.
Good on you, Mr. Van Halen. Good fact. Fact number 1.
Fact.
Fact number 2. Eddie Van Halen has 3. Count them.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. 3 guitar patents
to
his name. Yeah.
Do you know all 3?
I've got all 3 written down.
Nice.
Do you want to know?
Yes.
His first patent in 1987 was for a supporting device that allowed the musician to perform hands-free tapping.
Yeah.
So imagine the back of your guitar body, a little sort of plastic bit, so that you could flip your guitar so that the strings are facing your face. And
like a shelf.
Like a shelf, and it would sort of rest against you, and then you could take your hands off it with the strap on your neck, and you could just play it like a piano.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Did he never make them?
I guess not. I don't know if there's any footage of him playing like that. He got his second patent for a guitar peg head, a bit less impressive.
Okay.
I feel like that already exists. Isn't that just the head of the guitar? where you
Okay.
wind the strings. And in 2017, so fairly recent, his third patent was for a stringed instrument with adjustable string tension control, which sounds to me like a guitar.
Yeah, with the machine heads. I know he's got the little thing where you can like drop tune instantly.
Does he?
Did that.
Oh, the little extra thing.
The little extra thing on the.
I think that might be what this is actually.
The old
on the Floyd Rose.
Yeah,
there. I think that's what this is.
It's you just
an extra peg.
pull
thing.
that and it drops it down.
That's very cool.
That is pretty.
So there you go. That is fact number 2. Fact number 3. Over to you, Matt.
Oh yeah. So a while ago, he was at a Tool concert watching the band Tool, and after the show, somebody else watching the band Tool came up to him and asked him to take a photograph, but not with Van Halen, but of the stage. And Van Halen's son, Wolfgang Van Halen, who is also in Van Halen, he took a picture and posted it on his Instagram and was like, haha, this guy had no idea he had the legendary guitarist Eddie Van Halen taking his photo.
That's
So
a
that
really
was
good
pretty
fact.
cool.
I think that was a fact within a fact. I didn't know that Wolfgang Van Halen was in Van Halen.
Yeah.
What was Wolfgang
He's
doing
been bass.
For a long time.
But like, for a while, yeah.
Have I just
Quite
missed
a
that
while.
completely? Oh, there you go. Why did I highlight that? That
I mean, they are
didn't
called
know
Van
that.
Halen. He was trying to...
I suppose he's the only other person allowed because he's also a Van Halen.
Yeah.
Okay, fact number 4. So Van Halen as a band, I don't know if anyone out there has watched Wayne's World, but there is an anecdote about brown M&Ms, something along the lines of
Only brown M&Ms
only
in the bar.
brown
in the bowl.
M&Ms or Ozzy wouldn't go on stage that night. Something along those lines. That came from Van Halen. Van Halen would ask for M&Ms in their rider backstage with all the brown ones taken out.
Ooh.
And they would know that the venue was a good quality venue and that their technical setup would be great if the venue had paid close attention to the rider. So if they went into their dressing room and there were no brown M&Ms in the bowl, they'd be like, this venue has read the fine detail, therefore it must be set up really well.
But what really happened is that the venue took way too long taking brown M&Ms out that they forgot about setting up.
And it
any
was
of
the worst
equipment.
show Van Halen have ever played.
So really,
Everything went wrong.
If they were like, oh, brown M&Ms, it's probably going to be all right.
In fact, it was awful. Fact 5. Van Halen, not the band, the person, Eddie Van Halen, suspected that metal guitar picks were the source of his cancer.
Ooh. Good job I used
He
the plastic
said
ones.
that, yeah, I've never heard of a metal one, but maybe I should like a Keeney in Pog.
Well, what's his
Remember
name?
Pogs?
Brian May uses a dime, which is probably metal.
Does it? As in like the
He
coin?
uses a coin.
But
yeah.
like filed into the shape of a pick?
Nope, just the coin.
Really?
Yes.
Very odd. If anything, he should use an English coin because it's got the Queen on it.
Yes. I don't think you're allowed to
Oh no, you can't.
deface.
You can't defile the Queen by using her as a pick.
Probably
You also can't feed a
treason.
coin to a swan. That's another thing you can't do. Right, so yeah, he theorized that he developed tongue cancer because he regularly put metal guitar picks in his mouth, and he said that he usually placed the picks in the exact part his mouth where the cancer developed in his mouth. And then there was an article on cancerhealth.com that said that doctors believed the cancer was most likely linked to Van Halen's years of smoking and drug abuse.
Yeah.
Which sounds more likely
Yeah.
than the pick thing.
Every
you know,
time
an excuse.
it's not quite the same as mouth cancer, but every time I get gout, I instead of blaming it on the
Is this when you've been away sailing?
yeah, instead of blaming it on the booze and I'm like,
red
oh, it must
meat.
be like the Marmite or something. I had that once, so you know, it's good to have something to blame things on,
Yeah,
isn't
true.
it?
Last fact.
Last fact: Van Halen actually jammed with Limp Bizkit
Limp
after
Bizkit.
Wes Borland.
You know that just by saying the words Limp Bizkit means they have to go on the playlist.
If I say it again, that means Fred Durst turns up in our bathroom.
We'll say it again then.
No.
Okay, good point.
None of us want that. So, yeah, he jammed. Wes Borland left the band, and I think the man with the cap said I think
You can say Fred Durst more times. That's okay. I think.
And yeah, he met Van Halen and was like, "Oh, wouldn't it be hilarious if you became the next Limp Bizkit guitarist? Come and jam with us." And Eddie Van Halen was just like, "Okay." So he went and jammed, and then he left because they were smoking weed and was like, "Nope, this is not into this." That it was, and yeah, he left all of his gear there and tried to get hold of the band for a few days, and they weren't contacting him. So the following day, Van Halen contacted Durst to recover his gear. According to the source of this, the Van Halen was still upset from the experience after not hearing back from Durst for over 24 hours. He decided to take matters into his own hands. Eddie once bought an assault vehicle from a military auction, the source writes. It has a Shine gun mount on the back that is not legal, but he drove the assault rifle through LA into Beverly Hills, then parked and left it running on the front lawn of the house Limp Bizkit was rehearsing in. He got out wearing no shirt, his hair in a samurai bun on top of his head, his jeans held up with a strand of rope, and combat boots held together by duct tape, and he had a gun in his hand. Said that arsehole answered the door. He put a gun to his stupid fucking red hat and said, "Where's my shit, motherfucker?" And that fucking guy just turned to one of his employees and starts yelling to grab his shit. Eddie Van Halen stood on the front lawn of the home in Beverly Hills in broad daylight, smoking a cigarette while holding a gun on Fred Durst as he went back and forth from the house to the assault vehicle, lugging amps and guitars.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Which is weird because doesn't
What a
he know
legend.
that Fred Durst packs a chainsaw?
Yeah.
A motherfucking chainsaw.
Chainsaw. What?
So come and get it. Come and get your stuff, Eddie. Okay, that is Van Halen Facts
Van Halen Facts.
in the news segment. Second bit of news. Matt, you've got some news for us this week, I think. What have you been up to?
So Fear Factory, a childhood favourite of mine, band-wise. Fear Factory have lost their singer Burton C. Bell. And
Do you know what the C stands for?
cunt believing.
Okie dokie.
So he's left Fear Factory fully, and so I tweeted Dino and told him that I'd do it.
It sounds more casual than just tweeted Dino's like, "Oh, Dino."
I tweeted Dino and said, "Hey, I'll sing instead of Burton C. Bell," and he replied and said, "Okay." Basically, they're going to possibly hold auditions.
Sounds like a fob off to me, Matt.
So basically, I'm going to become the new Fear Factory singer.
He might be. You've heard it here first.
I still do the podcast.
Well,
So
once you
won't
become
lose me.
famous on tour with Fear Factory, I'll be here doing it on my own,
Well, no, because
bantering with no one.
if I did it, we'd get another listener.
Well, maybe. Burton C. Bell would listen and
So, yeah,
cry.
that's very exciting.
Really good news.
Can't wait to sing those songs.
Was there a third bit of news?
Well, Greg Pistachio's
Greg
album
Pistachio.
was leaked
Greg Pocaccio.
By-
Focaccia.
by
What's his name?
reviewers, not us. I like to say it
Yeah,
wasn't
he was very
us.
angry, wasn't he, Greg Pistachio?
Yeah, I mean, but what he did do, I like what he did do. He just was like, "Fuck it," and then released it in good quality on
Anyway,
Bandcamp
yeah.
and
That's
stuff.
good.
Anyway, so
That is Greg Portaccio from the Dillinger Escape Plan, for anyone who doesn't know
yeah,
who Greg Focaccia is.
it's his own label as well that it's on, so he can just go, "Oh, I'm just
Do what
going
he
to release
wants.
it today anyway."
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, look out for our review on episode 7.
Yeah, we're going to review that.
It wasn't us, I swear.
That's the news.
That is the news.
That was the news.
Are we now doing new releases?
Yeah, let's go into it.
New releases.
New releases.
Should I do this one first?
Yeah, sure.
Right. First new release up is Napalm Death. With an album that is called Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism. It came out on the 18th of September on Century Media Records. Technically, I think Napalm Death are grindcore. They invented grindcore.
I'd go with that, yeah.
But they sort of
Yeah.
evolved a bit out of grindcore, I think, realistically. But they're from Birmingham. which is bloody great.
like Black Sabbath.
So basically, they're not really grindcore anymore, are they? I'm not sure if that was
I
good
think
or
they're
not.
classic rock now.
Sorry to our listener if you are from Birmingham. Not quite sure where you're from. So I thought that grindcore was a sort of perpetual blast beat situation, and the songs last for about a minute. But I think I was exposed to extreme grindcore in my youth.
Yeah, like I think they were quite famous for having.
They had
like
really short
30
songs.
songs.
They had the shortest song. They're in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
One of the songs is the shortest. It is called "You Suffer."
Yeah,
And it's on
yeah.
their first album.
They
and
played
it's a
on
second long.
They played on TFI Friday as well.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'd imagine Chris Evans to be a big fan. I mean Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yeah,
not the ginger guy.
one.
No. So when I was growing up, I had albums by a few grindcore related bands. Because I think at the time I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But when I look back, I don't really enjoy it that much. So do you remember Agoraphobic Nosebleed?
Yeah.
I had an album by them. The Locust is kind of grindcore-y.
Yeah. I like the Locust.
Nasm
Yeah.
had some stuff by them. And I never really got into Napalm Death. I think because their first lot of stuff was a bit more, not as well produced and a bit more raw, and from like the 80s, whereas this other stuff was a bit newer and a bit more well produced. But now this album is 42 minutes, 12 tracks, which is normal, very normal.
So that should be about 8 to 12 minutes.
It should
Napalm
be.
Death.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. The first track, Fuck the Factoid, it's called.
Nice.
It's kind of like I would say, blackened death metal, if I had to give it any kind of
Is that your
name.
is that your standout track?
It's not my standout track. Standout track is called Contagion. A bit thrashy. The chorus is a bit, do you know Voivod? Voivod, is that how you say it?
I don't know. We've got a sponsor. But,
we could ask the sponsor.
We could try and find out how it's said.
We'll do that. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Bit Voivody, but it sounds really good. Sort of like discordant chords that kind of ring out a bit, and the vocals are almost clean, I would say, but not quite.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah,
Which
but
is
clean vocals
good.
are clean as if they were sung by a toad. Is how I would describe them.
Okay.
So clean, but with a bit of a toad quality. There's a song in French called Journée de pas vivre, which translate as joy of not living, and his French accent is on point. There's like a slower track that's not metally called Amoral. But yeah, it's really diverse. I thought it was really good. It captured my attention, and I've remembered some of the songs in terms of like how they go, and I've listened to it about 6 times,
That's
and I thought
good.
it was great. My 3-word review for Napalm Death, the throes of joy in the jaws of defeatism, is accessible, versatile, death.
Nice. Solid 3 words there.
Yeah.
Could it be album of the week though? We'll
Well.
find out, won't we?
Who knows?
The it's a big title to have. I've got Omega Diatribe, and I don't know if you got the thing hooked up with our sponsor, but the album.
Yeah, sorry, I can do that. I can do that. What's the album called?
Metanoia.
Metania.
Metanoia.
Metanoia.
Metanoia. I thought you had the sponsor.
Sorry, I wasn't
hooked
ready.
up,
I'm really
but-
sorry. That's my bad. I apologise. Didn't mean to sabotage your review.
Metanoia.
Metanoia.
So anyway,
Yeah, what did you think of it though?
No, I really liked it. It was, I believe, from the song titles that they must have recorded it during lockdown, because you got songs like, well, You Can't Save Me. Wait, go on.
God, sorry.
How'd you?
Metanoia.
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 Okay, so Omega Diatribe.
Metanoia.
Metanoia. So you got You Can't Save Me, Don't Touch, as in like don't touch me
yeah.
or I'd be coroned. Isolation. A lot of people put in Global Fire.
Oh, I didn't
You've
realise
got,
this. Political.
Metanoia.
Is that political? Coronavirus.
Coronal mass ejection and long. So I think.
Oh.
And if they didn't write and release it. Right, I know
weird,
they
isn't
released it during COVID, but if they didn't write and record it during, I'd be shocked because
it'd be quite weird if a sort of metal, genty metalcore band from Hungary predicted the coronavirus with their new album.
Grinder of Self. I guess that means being gay with yourself by wanking.
By finding yourself on an app and meeting yourself.
All that.
And having sex with yourself.
No, I very much enjoyed this. I thought it was very, very Meshuggah.
Yeah, it is.
Even to the point where the album cover looks like it could have been
like
a Meshuggah.
Zoomed in version of the new Meshuggah, or latest Meshuggah
It's
album.
definitely Geiger-esque. But no, even so, it was, I really liked it. I've never heard of him before, so it was good to... My standout track was Global Fire. So listen to that. That'll be on the playlist.
Yeah.
So
it'll all be on the playlist.
I think we forgot to mention the playlist. They're down as gent groove metal. Gent. They're from Budapest. So my 3-word review is hungry for more. So yeah, I liked it. I'd listen to them again. It would be good to see those guys live. But they're
good. Definitely check them out. I think if you are into Meshuggah, you would like them.
Yeah, if for fans of Meshuggah.
Just Meshuggah. But with more, they've got more like tamer vocals, I would say. And like almost like choruses.
And like the heavy bassness of it isn't quite.
Yeah, the opening track when it starts, you're like, oh, this is just a Meshuggah song.
Yeah, but it goes,
which is no bad thing.
There is something else to them, and no, very good. Check them out.
Check them out.
Right, next up, Exist. They are a prog metal band from Baltimore in the US. And they had an album out at the end of August, actually, so a little bit late on that new release. Still new.
Newish
in the grand scheme of Earth. So the album's called Egoista. Oh, that's a good one for our sponsor.
Egoista.
Egoista. We've all heard that word before, and we all know that it is pronounced like no results found. It's not a word.
Oh, we can't even.
How am I able to say it if it doesn't exist?
I don't know if we should.
Oh my God, they're called Exist. Maybe it's wow. What have they done there?
They exist.
They're called Exist, but the album name doesn't exist on that website. Anyway, it's called Egoista, and I think it's fucking great.
Yeah, very, very good.
It's got the first song is called Through Suffering, He Paints the Universe, which is proggy.
It's very sort of new Devin as well.
Oh, do you reckon? New Devin Townsend?
Yeah, like newer.
It's quite singy, which normally I'm not a huge fan of. And I'm not sure how much I like the clean vocal, but the amount of heavy, more deathy, jazzy, proggy stuff is really good. The instrumentals are amazing. They're very talented musicians. The downside for me is that the vocals are not quite strong enough either way.
Okay.
I think if they had a different vocalist, that it would be one of the best albums I've heard in a long time. But the guy's vocals, I think, aren't that strong. But I still thought it was amazing.
I quite liked him. I thought, I thought it worked. But I like to listen to something and go like, maybe I could do that in the future.
Yes, the vocals aren't very good then, that's why. I think if you swapped him out from with the guy from The Contortionist, because he's got really good
singy voice,
singy and screamy situation going on, I think that would make the album.
Just listen to The Contortionist if you want.
I'd just listen to Language. So that's my review. Would have preferred a different vocalist, but instrumentally very solid, fantastic death prog album. Definitely check it out. It came out on Prosthetic Records. Exist, Egoista. My standout track is called Spotlight's Glow. It'll be on the playlist. And my 3-word review is Progress, brackets 2, new vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't put your nan in that one.
No nan in that one, no. You're up next.
I'm up next. So I've been listening to Horsewhip, Laid to Waste. We don't need the sponsor for that. I can say all of those words. Do you know who it was released on? You seem to...
Oh, yeah, I do. Hold on. It was released on... Oh, where is it? Roman numerals.
Roman numerals? Which
Records.
ones?
God.
Yeah, so...
M was in there.
Horsewhip. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it a lot. It's very, 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 very hardcore-y, very
noisy,
screamy, very noisy.
Yeah.
I think the guys were around the old hardcore scene in the 90s. And...
Do you know that? Have you?
No, I Googled it.
Okay, that is true.
I looked them up a little bit.
Oh, yeah? What else do you know about them?
I don't know much about them. They've only got like 600 monthly listeners.
That's what we do on this podcast.
Yeah.
We break acts.
Breaking acts. We have one listener. And they have 600. So
it could be 601 if they play the cards right.
But no, I really enjoyed it. It was very, very much what I'm into at the minute. Very, very noisy, very screamy, very. It's kind of heavy and just a lot going on. A lot going on. So my 3-word review is refined, screamy chaos.
Yeah, good.
Because you can hear what's going on. Some hardcore, some like screamy stuff.
There's bits
some crazy
happening.
stuff. You're like, you can't work out much what's going on. This you can kind of work out everything. It's very well put together. It's a great listen. Standout track for me was where is it? Inertia Waits.
Which will be on. What's it going to be on?
The podcast playlist.
That's what it's going to be on.
Episode 5 podcast
playlist. Make sure you go to May Contain Metal Pod on Instagram and look at our story highlights, because that's the only way we've figured out to seed the playlist.
But it means you don't have to stop the podcast and listen and go.
Yeah,
and listen to
don't go
songs.
now.
You can listen to
go
it
when
after.
we've finished, and we'll put all the artists and or songs in order that we mention them in a playlist. So you can go and listen to them afterwards.
Some quick mentions. AC/DC have a new song.
AC/DC came out yesterday.
It's called Shot in the Dark.
Was it yesterday it came out, yeah?
Yeah, it did. It goes,
it's,
Shot in the Dark!
It's a real...
I'm in the dark!
I was really surprised as to how different
I
it
just
is.
ruined that bit.
Versus, yeah, you did. Versus the old stuff. No, it's exactly the same as every single AC/DC song. But
I think,
it's great.
Honestly, it's a bit sort of more
avant-garde.
It's a bit more... It's a bit sort of like...
Not as good.
No, but you can't say that about AC/DC.
No, you're right.
But it's it's a bit more pulled back. It's a bit more like there's not as much energy in it. I guess they're older.
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
I'm glad Brian's back.
Me too.
Because they had Axl Rose for a bit.
Oh yeah.
Which I did see them live with Axl Rose.
They didn't record with Axl Rose, did they?
No,
it was just a live stand-in.
Just the live stuff.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I think Brian had a hearing issue, and the doctor said you can't go on tour or you go fully deaf forever. And he was like, oh. So they must, and they're not. They can't go on tour because the world has ended.
Yeah.
And so they just did an album, which
Fair enough.
I think doing an album doesn't affect
Ruin your
hearing.
ears. Yeah.
So,
fine.
the standout track on that single was...
Is the single Shot in the Dark, I think.
Yeah. Shot in the Dark.
It's you're too late.
No.
You give
No.
up.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No Bon Jovi on this podcast.
You mentioned it now. It's got to go on the playlist. I didn't say the name. We are able to omit people from the playlist if we want to.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi will be omitted.
We'll be on it.
Okay, some other honourable mentions.
Arch Echo.
Arch Echo.
Very, very Simon Hofmeister.
Yeah, it's very me, this. They are a instrumental prog band from Nashville, would you believe? They all went to the Berklee School of Music. And
of course they did.
they all go... But if you like that sort of thing, it's really good. The EP is called Story 1, and it came out on the 2nd of October.
Very short.
Pliny in that sort of similar vein. Pliny, do you know Pliny?
But with words, Pliny.
Pliny didn't have words.
Oh, did it not?
No, it was instrumental.
Right.
Pliny, although ironically it was called "I'll Tell You Someday," his single, but not with words.
I didn't listen to this.
With
this song.
that sort of stuff. Pliny, if you are into that kind of proggy
definitely be a,
guitarist solo
Arctangent.
stuff, he's great. He's got a new single out. Came out 2 days ago when you listen to this. Depends when you listen to it, but 7th of October. The last honourable mention is, and I've got an anecdote to go with this.
Oh, nice. Good one to finish on.
A band called Anal Nathrak, which we're going to use our sponsor.
What's our sponsor?
Anal Nathrak. They've used a different person for that particular one.
Yeah, I think
That's from howtopronounce.com. So, Anal Nathrak. They've been around for quite a while. It's two guys.
Yep.
One guy does most of the production and musicianship, and the other guy is mainly the vocalist. I think he might do something else. When I was very young, they released an album called The Codex Necro, which I still think is really great.
Yeah.
They've gone downhill massively. But do you remember MSN Messenger?
Yes.
So that was the days of MSN Messenger. I found the main guy from Anal Nathrak, his email address, which maybe was in the album sleeve back then. I don't know, but I found it. And I added him on MSN Messenger, which is the equivalent of like sliding to someone's DMs now, I suppose.
Yeah.
And me and him would chat. And I was about 14, and he must have been in his 20s, maybe at the time.
Yeah,
it was sort of like a reverse paedophile situation.
Yeah. You were.
I went after him.
Yeah.
And he was a real dick. And I'm really happy that
Well, you were a 14-year-old that was contacting him on Messenger.
Yeah, but I was like, I really like your project, because it's not a band, it was him and another guy.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me, like, I was being like, I just wanted to know more. And he was really into Manowar, that band.
Oh, of course he's into Manowar.
Yeah, he was really
Have
into.
you seen the posters?
And he was like, if you don't like Manowar, you're a fucking loser. And I was like, I don't think I am. I think you are. Anyway, I'm really glad that this has come up, because it allows me to use this platform of one listener to slag off Anal Nathrak. Because he was a dick. And don't bully kids. Like, if a kid messages you and they're like, I like you, don't be a knob.
But no kids ever message us to say they like the podcast.
They probably won't.
Don't think they're gonna.
But it's the album that came out on the 2nd of October. And you know what? I haven't listened to it.
You didn't even give it a go?
No, fuck him.
Oh, I quite liked it. It was quite good.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I mean,
But we put a track on and the singing bit was awful.
Oh, was it the singer you
that
spoke
was the
to?
one. No, it was the other guy.
Oh, no, I thought the singing was great, but the other stuff was...
Don't
the other
wind me
stuff
up.
was absolutely
Don't
shit.
wind me up. I like the music. Anyway, the Codex Necro was fucking great, but quite different. It had no like on it. Nor did this one. Anyway, that is
That's,
new releases.
Okay, now welcome to a relatively new section.
Hey,
Kind of new. It's Album of the Week.
album of the week.
Album of the Week. Album of the Week.
So
Right.
we had, what did we have this week? What did we talk about? Napalm Death.
Napalm Death. We talked about Horsewhip.
And Omagadaya Tribe.
Omagadaya Tribe.
And Exist.
Exist.
So out of those four, what's our album of the week?
What's it going to be? Drum roll.
Oh, very
More
good.
like a woodpecker.
A little woodpecker.
Let's bring out the woodpecker. It's
Come on,
Album of the
woodpecker.
Week. And who is Album of the Week this week, Simon?
It is Woodpecker Please. Exist.
Exist!
With Egoista.
So,
Egoista.
if you listen to any of the albums, listen
To Exist.
that
It's
one.
our favourite album of the week.
Album of the Week!
Up next, messages, I think.
Messages. Have we had any?
Let me check.
Yep, let's have a look.
Let me
Look
just
at the
scroll
messages.
through all
Drum
the
roll.
previous ones
Is there a
from many days, months, and years before. No messages this week.
If you want to send us a message,
Please send us a message.
we're
We had
on
one last
Instagram,
week.
Megate Metal Pod.
May Contain Metal Pod on Instagram, and also maycontainmetal@gmail.com, which actually I haven't really checked.
Oh, maybe
For a
we're
long
getting
time.
lots of emails.
Maybe we are. You know what? Let me check that.
But we're only on Instagram, so you can't like tweet us or anything.
No, we don't do.
We don't have time
we
for
don't do that.
We're new age podcasts.
Tell you what, whilst I look at our inbox on our very heavily overflowing inbox on Gmail,
Shall I introduce
you
the
wanna-
next section?
you introduce the next section.
All
Yeah.
right. So you've all been listening along with us. It's albums I should listen to. Albums I should listen to. Last week we gave you the albums that we're going to listen to for the first time.
Oh, just before
so
you go
right.
on,
Okay.
there's no messages in
Oh,
the Gmail.
none in the Gmail either.
No.
So yeah,
Oh,
at Megate Metal Pod.
Security alert.
Oh, maybe that's why there's
New
none.
device. That was me. 7 tips for
Ooh.
starting a podcast.
Oh, we got tips.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Maybe that'll
we
be a
should-
segment next week.
Yeah. But then we're on episode 6, so
Too late. We've already
too late, we
started.
started it. We can see what we should have done.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
Okay, sorry. Carry on.
albums I should listen to. We gave you the albums last week. I got to listen to Gaza, No Absolutes in Human Suffering.
Yeah, and I had Street Prowl by Rotting Out.
So I'm gonna go first.
Do you go first? You go first.
Yeah.
Gaza.
I'm a big fan of Gaza. I don't know how I've not heard of him before. Big into this album. It was everything that I like about songs. No, it was great. Standout track for me was Winter in Her Blood.
Yeah, good. Well,
track.
if it is winter and you are cold, get into someone's blood
Yeah,
because we are warm-blooded,
yeah.
and you will
It's like the scene from Star
Warm up.
Wars where the man
Oh,
draws in the
opens up the sort
animal.
of whatever it is, the nondescript
Yeah.
animal.
Or the scene, actually, I was going to say from Freddy Got Fingered, where the man got in the animal, but he wasn't cold. He wasn't doing that for coldness.
Oh, or in Ace Ventura,
Where the man
when
gets,
the man gets in the animal and then gets
Gets
too
out.
hot and
Gets
then
out
leaves
the
it. Yeah.
animal.
Lots
Not-
of. If
not
you
a
want to
real
know
animal.
about films where people get in animals, just let us know. We'll send you a list.
Yeah, this was great. Like that a
It's
lot.
really. I mean, I remember hearing this for the first time, and I was like, flipping hell! This is a good album. There's 2 more before this, which I've actually never listened to. I don't know why, because I just keep listening to this one.
Oh yeah,
They're
I haven't
probably
even-
really- no.
I haven't even gone back.
No,
I've
I haven't
only
either.
had a
Let's
week.
do that at some point.
Okay, we can go back.
So, do you want to know a good fact about Gaza?
Yeah, I do.
So Gaza, Gaza, for
Gaza.
anyone, and I know there is only one listening. They are now a new band, or most of them formed a new band, and I only found this out recently.
Right.
So I was like, Gaza. That album came out in 2012, I think
yeah,
it was.
something like that. Yeah, it's like, what have they done since then?
So since then, they are now a band called Cult Leader.
Have you listened to them?
Yes, they're great.
Oh, good. Better than Gaza?
No, Gaza. That album's better, but Cult Leader are fantastic. But they are the same, or they've have a lot of the same people. So that's where they've gone. They've become cult leaders.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think it's good to start something.
Yeah, I agree.
Be in a cult.
Always a cult. That's what we're doing here, in a way.
And I gave you an album, Rotting Out.
gave me Rotting
Street
Out.
Prowl.
Street Prowl.
So what do you think?
So Rotting Out are a hardcore punk band
Hardcore punk.
from the West Coast.
I think it's, there's definitely, it does contain metal.
Oh, it definitely does. I'm not a huge straight up punk fan.
But
And it's
not
got a lot of
straight up
punk to it. It's not straight up punk,
Yeah.
but it's got a lot of that to it. They sound like there should be a death metal band. Because the Rotting is very like...
Rotting Out.
Rotting Christ? They're not death metal. Are they black metal?
Oh, there's something.
Rotting Corpse is probably a band.
Yeah.
Um,
Could be the next band name.
well, let's find out. They're both words in the lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's enough of the hardcore element to keep me interested.
Yep.
So
I know you like your hardcore.
I love my hardcore. Sometimes
Every Time I Die.
the
you
backing,
like.
yeah, love them. Thanks for mentioning them so they can go on the playlist now.
Yeah.
Sometimes the backing sounds like a sort of heavier version of Smash era The Offspring.
Okay. Which I was a big fan of.
Yeah, I was.
When it came out.
With if Zach De La Rocca was a bit more hardcore,
Yeah.
it's a bit like a hardcore Zach De La Rocca.
Okay.
Zach
yeah.
De La Roche, Ferrero Rocher,
Yeah.
over the top of a heavier Offspring.
I mean, that sounds great.
It does sound good, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So I really liked it.
I like them.
But it did make me want to listen to Stray from the Path. Do you know them?
No.
Similar, like hardcore punk, but with much more of like a East Coast vibe. So these guys are West
sort of
Coast,
West Coast.
but he's more like New York, like
Right. Yeah.
walk in here, that sort of situation. But I really liked it. I normally find it difficult to listen to more than about 5 songs of this sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I listened to 6 of them.
Oh wow. There you go.
No,
So
I listened to
that's
the whole
good.
thing 2 or 3 times, and I enjoyed it. My standout track was Iron Jawed Angel.
Nice.
Because it
nice.
starts off on the punky side, not the
Yeah.
punky side. My 3-word review of this was Offspring Nick Technic,
Okay.
which is a play on Audi's slogan, Vorsprung durch Technik.
Which means.
Something about the technical era, I think it means.
Okay.
But Offspring Nick Technic means offspring, not technical.
Right. Okay. Right.
Technically, that is correct.
A cool fact about Rotting Out.
Oh, yeah, go on.
So they very recently, released a new album,
Harry's. Oh, yes.
which is great.
They did. And when I listened to this the first time,
Yeah.
obviously when the album finishes, it plays a song you might like because you would listen, like, goes
Yeah.
to radio. And I was like, oh, this is good. But it
Yeah.
was one off their new album.
I think the new album's better, but
Yeah. It was good.
So before the new album came out, the singer wrote it in prison.
Was he actually committed? Committed? Was he actually committed?
to prison?
Was he convicted of a crime, or
He
did
was,
he
yeah,
choose to
so-
go to prison just to write the album?
No, he that would be a very.
He was committed to prison writing.
Yeah. No, he was caught transporting about 700 pounds of weed across the state
really?
line.
Wow.
In I think 2017, 18 or something. And
That is hardcore.
He did
punk.
18 months in prison for it.
And he wrote the album in there.
He wrote the album in there, came out, recorded it,
Hold
released
on.
it. And it's fucking awesome.
Hold on. It's called Street Prowl, but he was in prison.
No, new album.
Oh, sorry.
This is, Street Prowl was
My
their
bad.
first,
Yes,
first
you're right.
album, I think.
You're right.
But their
I
newest-
wasn't listening. I
Their newest
apologize.
album, which is
called
which
In
is,
Prison.
I think it's their best album.
I
But
really liked it, yeah.
He wrote it in prison because he was caught with a shitload of weed.
It's called Ronin. Oh,
Yeah.
I guess when you're in prison, you watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, and he watched.
And
he
Ronin
really likes Robert De Niro
Is a really
and Luc
good-
Besson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Is Luc Besson? Is that Ronin? It might be. It probably is.
he's Leon.
Yeah, he is Leon.
So he was in Ronin, yeah,
I like Luc Besson.
and Luc Besson.
I tell you what I saw at the cinema recently.
Did it have Luc Besson? in it?
No, it had Vincent Cassel. Is that his name?
I like him too.
Yeah, have you
he
seen?
was in a movie with Luc Besson.
Oh,
called
Luc
I
Besson
think-
and Vincent Cassel.
I can't remember. It was like
Let
the Red
was it
River. Or something.
called?
It was all in French. You had to read it.
Oh.
You had to read it again.
I watched La Haine. Have you seen La Haine?
No.
It means the hate.
Oh,
It's great. Really
Never
good
heard
film.
of it.
1995.
okay.
Vincent Cassel and other actors
But
in
not
it.
Luc Besson,
But not Luc Besson.
unfortunately.
Anyway, that's the French cinema segment.
Je suis allé au cinéma. Love the French section. We should bring that back every week.
je agree.
So we need to give each of our albums 4 next week.
Yes.
So what you giving me?
I'm going to give you album by an Italian band.
Oh, could have
An
been French. Should have been French.
Post-hardcore sludgy outfit called Amia Venera Landscape, and the album is called The Long Procession.
Okay.
It's a favourite of mine. I think they're very much under the radar and underappreciated, and they disappeared after that, I think.
And I am going to give you a new metal groove. New groove.
5
New
minutes.
metal.
Yeah, go
New
on.
groove metal.
New groove metal, yeah.
I'm going to give you PDHM, Who Knows the Unknown.
Do you know what PDHM stands for?
No.
Nor do I. Let's find
Let's
out.
find out next
week.
I'll tell you why.
Go on. What's the reason?
So, this album's like, I've not listened to this album yet.
Why have you given it to me then?
No, because I'll find out next week. But I've
Okay,
listened to everything, and then I found out they had an album, and then it's an album
there's a
I
story
should
behind
listen to as well. But there's a story. We'll do it next week.
Excited. Okay,
So there we
great.
go. Right. So there's only there's only one segment left, isn't there?
Oh, and I've got
we going
the
into
die
it?
to prove it.
Oh shit!
shit.
So many die.
Why has he got 48 die
Right.
when he needs 2 or 3?
Let's announce the thing. What
The segment.
the segment's called,
Yeah.
and then we can go
Actually
into
do
the
the
segment. So
okay, well, who's going to
I
announce?
mean, we all know everyone's waiting for this part, so they can.
yeah,
switch
the
it
whole
off.
world's watching.
So
listening.
you know what it is? It's
Band Name Generator.
It's Band Name Generator,
Yeah.
everyone. So
Okay.
we got the die. We got the die out.
We got the
It's
die.
Band Name Generator time.
Band Name Generator.
All right, everyone's favourite.
So
you know the rules.
Matt, you have to roll the 6-sided die to give
Yeah.
us the number of words in the band name.
So here we go. Number of words in the band name.
3.
Better than last week.
It's much better than last week. So we now need the 10-sided die, which is this one,
This
to
one.
give us our first category of first word. 1. 1 is colours.
Ooh.
You now need the 12-sided die to give us the first word in the colour category.
1.
Red.
A lot of ones. Oh.
Your first word is red.
Red.
Please now roll the 10-sided category die for your second category.
There we go. This is the 8-sided.
Okie dokie. This one. This one here.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And that is 8.
Number 8. Body bits. We haven't had this one
Let's
yet.
find out what body bit.
Body bits.
Right, here we
12-sided
go.
die. What body bit's going to be?
Number 3.
Lung. This is good.Red lung. Is
Lung.
good.
Okay. And let's go 10 again.
10 again for another category, please.
Category.
3. Animals.
Oh,
this
let's
is
find out what animal.
Very excited.
Here we go.
12-sided die.
4 on the animals.
Bear. So whilst Matt decides the band name, I'll give you a quick rundown of the rules. Obviously, you've listened to all the episodes, so this is boring for you, but I will do it anyway. Matt has 3 words. Those 3 words are going to be rearranged or pluralized or changed in some way, but they have to. The core words have to be there: red, lung, and bear. You can have little joining words in there to form a band name, and then the next bit is we'll roll another die, which will tell us the genre of the band, and then we will attempt to write a small jingle/song in that genre of that band. And I can't say any more about it, so hopefully he's finished.
Yep. So
Yeah?
So the band name, this week for
Go
the
on.
Band Name Generator. Anyone starting a band, you can use any of these names as well.
We
Just,
encourage it, in fact.
Just let us know. Let us
Please
know
do.
if you end up being called this. But so the band this week is The Lung of Red Bear.
Oh, that's really, I like that.
It's
a
good,
lot.
right? The Lung of Red Bear.
The Lung of Red Bear.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Um,
got.
it's got a lot going on. But we need to find out what genre.
What genre are
The
the lung of Red Bear?
Bear.
Of Red Bear. Red Bear is 2 words, obviously, but it sounds like a place.
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Bear.
Could be, yeah.
Like a Viking town. Okay,
Right, is
so
it
please roll the dice for the music
Oh,
genre.
how many sides?
10-sided, please.
Here we go. Music genre 10-sided die. That is 10.
Oh, math core again.
Well, as it was last week, we get a re-roll.
Okay, re-roll.
Right, here we go. That was 2.
Hair metal. I mean,
the Lung of Red Bear, the hair metal.
hair metal band. Given that this is the week of Eddie Van Halen's death,
Oh, yeah.
that seems very appropriate.
Perfect. Almost like we planned it.
Almost
Which
like we
didn't.
lied.
We didn't lie to
No,
you.
we didn't.
We would never...
You heard the dice, the
Yeah.
roll of the
You
die.
heard the roll of the die.
So we're going to go away, come up with a hair metal bit.
For the Lung
The Lung
of
of
Red
Red
Bear.
Bear.
There it is. That was
Matt, that was
the Lung of Red Bear.
really good.
Right, it was, right?
I enjoyed that
Might be the
lots.
best one. Might be the best one so far.
How's
That was
your-
band name generator. Our hit bit.
That's a hit bit. How is your lung? Your
Oh, my lung is...
Red Bear?
My, my lung's fine.
Red Raw. That
Um,
was some high-pitched vocals.
My throat's fine as well.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
Got a lot of range.
Lot of range.
I gargled a beer before doing that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No wonder you were well lubed.
Gargled a beer.
You were well lubed to hit those high notes
I got more range than
than a
Bernard.
than a chicken at a
Bernard
nice at a good
Matthews.
farm.
Tried to recreate the magic.
It's not gonna work.
So yeah, there we go. That's episode 5
Episode 5
of the Steels.
of the Steels.
Join us next week for
Episode
the
6,
Lung
I
of-
guess.
Yeah, episode 6.
The Lung of Red Bear.
Red Bear.
It's the Lung of Red